She'll stand up, speak out, and demand equal treatment because we've earned it.
I'm Mary Camacho Torres. I'm ready to be your voice in Congress, and I will finish the work. I'm Mary Camacho Torres, and I approve this message.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Backlash continues to grow against a federal proposal to end birthright citizenship in U.S. territories. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the growing opposition.
Typhoon Bobby cleanup continues as its price tag increases. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with why the governor says emergency management partners need another $13.3 million to move recovery efforts forward, coming up.
The 2026 Guam Liberation Queen of Texas says no canceled parade could keep her away from home. Why this year's Liberation visit became even more meaningful. I'm Jonah Gancharfris with more coming up.
Good evening, Guam and half a day. We are KUAM. I'm Jason Salas, and these are tonight's top stories on prime time. Well, opposition is growing over a federal proposal to strip birthright citizenship in United States territories, and as our Matsuki Hirayama reports in our top story, politicians from both sides of the aisle continue to denounce the Republican measure and call for it to be removed.
A day before Guam celebrated its 82nd liberation, KUAM held our Democratic Gubernatorial Forum where we asked Adelup hopefuls about a controversial federal proposal that would strip birthright citizenship for U.S. territories. Since then, the opposition has been growing.
At the heart of the issue is the Trump administration's continued crackdown on immigration and birth tourism. As reported, Republican Congressman Morgan Griffith of Virginia introduced the End Birthright Citizenship for Territories Act last week, less than a month after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Donald Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship nationwide. If passed, babies born after January 2027 on Guam one parent or legal permanent resident. But Guam leaders and advocates argue it could create second-class citizens who are essentially stateless. During our forum, Senator Joe San Augustine called for a one Guam approach to include Guamanians in the mainland to call on their representatives in Congress.
We're all U.S. citizens in Guam. When you're born in Guam, you're a U.S. citizen. And if they keep on pushing that, people are standing up all over the world. And they're not going to tolerate any kind of movement such as that.
Senator Therese Terlahi agreed, adding this is an issue like deep-sea mining where Guam must stand united and be uncompromising.
Well, I agree that that's a very serious issue and that all of what has been suggested should be incorporated. It's really just one of the examples of us needing a seat at the table because of the impacts that the United States is proposing for us and for our people.
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio takes a moment to call on the Republican Party, specifically Guam delegate James Moylan, to condemn the measure.
The election for Guam delegate is going to be very important because no matter who is elected, they're the ones that have access to fight this. And I hope Jimmy Moylan fights that in that Republican caucus because he owes that to the people of Guam.
The Republican Party of Guam has since spoken out against the bill, noting the delegate has confirmed with them that he was not advised of this policy before introduction, nor were any of the other territorial delegate offices. Meantime, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero is urging Congress to halt the bill from moving forward while calling out the irony of its introduction ahead of Liberation Day. In a letter to House Speaker Mike Johnson, she says, quote, "Our people endured invasion, occupation, forced labor, internment, and death during the Second World War because Guam was American soil. Today, Guam continues to carry an outsized share of responsibility for the defense of our nation and the security of the Indo-Pacific."
Meantime, all gubernatorial candidates on both sides of the aisle have condemned the measure, to include Speaker Frank Bloss Jr. and Vice Speaker Tony Ada. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama reporting for KUAM News.
An additional multi-million-dollar request by the governor for Typhoon Bobby recovery funding is now before lawmakers who spent Thursday pressing response officials on why additional appropriations are needed. Here's Nevaeh Anderson with the latest.
Following her call for a 9th special session, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero is asking senators to approve Bill number 19-S, a spending plan that would appropriate $13.3 million for Typhoon Bobby response and recovery, $11.4 million for child care subsidies amid federal funding delays, and $17.6 million to help the Guam International Airport Authority meet its financial obligations amid revenue shortfalls. Bureau of Budget Management and Research Director Lester Carlson says the money would come from fiscal year 2026 general fund revenues collected above projections, driven by income, corporate income, and withholding taxes, not the business privilege tax. He says GovGuam is now tracking at about $88 million above projected revenues, even after accelerating access to $20 million in previously appropriated but unspent Guam Memorial Hospital funds. But Thursday's hearing largely revolved around the proposed $13.3 million for Typhoon Bobby recovery. Senator Chris Duenas noted the legislature had already appropriated nearly $9 million to emergency response partners before the storm, including $4.75 million for village mayor's offices, $100,000 for the Mayor's Council of Guam, $250,000 for Guam Homeland Security and the Office of Civil Defense, and $1.25 million for GDOE to operate 5 emergency shelters, leaving just about $2.9 million for broader response and recovery efforts. Carlson said those appropriations were essential for preparation, but much of the money was already committed before island-wide recovery efforts were underway.
So we didn't have very much money left at the end of the day for response activities.
Administration officials say this new funding would support agencies still leading recovery efforts, including the Department of Public Works, Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense, village mayors, and the Guam Department of Education. DPW Director Vince Areola says while crews continue clearing debris and sand from Route 1, the greater challenge is repairing retaining walls along Anigua and the commercial port that were damaged by Typhoon Sinlaku and further weakened by Bobby.
We're restoring the walls as much as we can with boulders, and then we will pour flowable fill concrete into those crevices and those manholes just to keep the wall in some form of structural rigidity. That is strictly a temporary fix.
Areola adds DPW is also working with FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Federal Highway Administration on obtaining funding for permanent reconstruction. GDOE Superintendent Dr. Judith Wampat told lawmakers GDOE received $1.25 million before Typhoon Bobby to prepare and operate 5 school shelters, with their total response costs now reaching about $1.31 million. The department is requesting just $66,000 more to cover the difference.
It is primarily to address whatever damages we incurred.
In addition, GHS OCD officials testified that emergency response operations remain ongoing within their $250,000 in approved funding, while the Guam National Guard said it's not requesting additional funding, as existing disaster response funds from Sinlaku remain available if needed. With additional agency testimony and funding requests still ahead, senators expect deliberations to continue for days before deciding whether to approve the administration's additional request for recovery spending. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Well, the governor and lieutenant governor tonight are joining the people of Guam in mourning the passing of former Senator and U.S. Navy Captain Eloy Bermudes. He made history in the 1970s as the first Chamorro graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy before just serving a distinguished career in the Navy. And after his military service, he continued to serve the island as GM of the Port Authority of Guam and later as a senator in the legislature. There, he helped shape policies that affected our island. And by way of a statement, the governor said Bermudes led with integrity, humility, and an unwavering commitment to public service, inspiring generations of Guam residents to serve their island and nation. The administration extended its deepest condolences to the Bermudes family, fellow vets, friends, and former colleagues, honoring his lasting legacy of leadership and service. The governor issued a statement, saying, quote, as a mark of honor and respect and pursuant to the Organic Act, she directs that the U.S. and Guam flags be flown at half-staff down at the governor's complex and all public buildings and grounds. Well, in other news, FEMA has approved nearly $752,000 in public assistance funding for GDOE to repair buildings damaged by Super Typhoon Mawar. The award is part of nearly a $2.9 million in FEMA-funded disaster recovery funding announced Thursday for projects on Guam, the CNMI, Hawaii, and Arizona. According to the federal agency, the funding support repairs to critical infrastructure, restorations of public buildings, road repairs, and reimbursements for eligible disaster-related costs. Congressman Jim Moylan's office says FEMA has not released additional project-specific details, including which schools will receive repairs. Now, because the projects are administered through GovGuam and GDOE, those agencies are expected to provide further information. The congressman also notes that the federal award is expected to cover 90% of eligible project costs, with the remaining 10% to be funded through a non-federal cost share, although GovGuam will determine how that portion will be covered. Well, please stay tuned, everybody. We're back in a flash, but before we get to the break, here's our KUAM recovery tips brought to you by IT&E, Connections That Matter.
This safety tip is brought to you by our partners at IT&E, Connections That Matter.
Ready to make the splash this summer? Kmart is. Dive into the fun. Get in the game. Make some waves. Summer Splash at Kmart.
Leadership isn't measured by campaign promises. It's measured by a lifetime of keeping them. For years, Tony Atta has delivered results for the people of Guam. He authored Guam's Castle Doctrine, strengthening the rights of law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and their families. He passed laws protecting consumers, strengthened opportunities to bring more doctors and healthcare professionals to Guam, fought for small local businesses, and worked to make government serve the people, not the other way around. His record isn't built on speeches. It's built on action, on integrity, on keeping his word. That's what put Guam first means, putting our island first.
As your governor, I will lead with integrity, and every decision I make will put Guam first. I'm Tony Atta, and I humbly ask for your vote.
I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.
NBC's Thursday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Anything's possible.
College is possible. Retirement is possible. Adventure is possible. And so is saving for it all with our Bank Ohana Savings Special. Earn an interest rate of 3.25% for the first 90 days when you deposit $25,000 from another bank into a Bank Ohana Bonus Rate Savings Plus account. Requires a Bank Ohana checking account with an opening deposit of $500. So make your savings goals possible.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Part of KUAM News 82nd Liberation coverage, Typhoon Temple is presented in partnership with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Code 1 Law Enforcement and Tactical Store, Hawthorne Cat, IP&E, Shell, and Foodies.
Half a day and welcome back, everybody. We're going to close out our very special Typhoon Temple series with the 2026 Guam Liberation Queen of Texas, Tealyn Flores, who's back on her home soil after leaving when she was just 11 years old.
For 25-year-old Tealyn Flores, the 2026 Guam Liberation Queen of Texas, representing Guam is about much more than wearing a crown. It's about honoring her culture, her family, and the island she will always call home.
Just the culture, it really pushes me towards that. Being around family, hospitality, we're very big on hospitality, so that's really what pushed me towards that. Also, my sister being buried here in Guam was the biggest part of it. So being able to come home and see her was truly a blessing.
Even after Super Typhoon Bobby forced the cancellation of the 82nd Liberation Day Parade and other major events, Flores never considered canceling her trip. Instead, she spent time reconnecting with family, attending the Liberation Day Unified Memorial and Tumon Night Market, and joining the North Texas Chamorro Association's second annual EPAN Beach Cleanup.
Either way, we were going to make our way home, canceled or not, and I'm thankful they're still doing something for the liberation. I feel like that's very important for our people to know that we still celebrate being liberated and everything, so it was very important for us to come back home. It feels good to be home, so yes, it's very blessing.
The beach cleanup was one event Flores was determined to keep on the schedule.
A successful day for us. I want to be able to just get as much knowledge I can that I didn't know before prior to coming here, and then just packing on as much as I can, cleaning up our island, our beaches, because it was a bit harsh yesterday. But it was good, so we got a lot done yesterday, which that was really good.
While many were disappointed by the cancellation of the parade and memorial ceremonies, Flores said the spirit of liberation doesn't depend on one event.
Should look at it as a very important date for us. Either way, we are celebrating it, so it's not really a miss, because either way, us Chamorros, we're gonna celebrate one way or the other.
Preparing for the pageant also meant learning more about Guam's history. Flores says she was surprised to discover that Guam was attacked around the same time as Pearl Harbor, something she says isn't widely taught on the mainland. The lessons became even more meaningful through her own family's experiences.
My Auntie Des actually taught us a lot of her story. She was very young, which she doesn't really remember a lot, but she was a survivor throughout that time. So yeah, us hearing that story, it makes us appreciate her more and, just value her more, because she did go through so much with her and her family going through that war.
As she prepares to return to Texas, Flores hopes to remind fellow Chamorros that no matter where they live, Guam remains home.
That our island is still here, even if we are in the States, that we know where our roots came from and where our blood is started from. Just always remember where home is, and yeah, that's what I hope to bring home.
Her own return to Guam has been filled with memories, from familiar roads to favorite restaurants, making this homecoming an emotional one.
Just driving around the island and just reminiscing on, oh, I did this as a kid, or I did this while in school, or even just like passing through Jamaican Grill. I ate there just the other day, and I came home so full. It was a really good one. So yeah, there's a lot of places that I'm reminiscing, and it makes me kind of emotional, because I'm like, I wish my family was here to see that. But it's like I'm reminiscing for all of us.
And for those celebrating liberation, Flores has one simple message.
Just have fun, eat a lot of food, and just celebrate our military as well. They're a big help to our future and our past. And yeah, just have the time of our life. Even if the liberation is canceled, we still have the night market, so just have fun. Try not to dwell on what we are losing, but focus on the future.
Part of KUAM News 82nd Liberation coverage, Typhoon Temple is presented in partnership with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Code 1 Law Enforcement and Tactical Store, Hawthorne Cat, IP&E, Shell, and Foodies.
Well, the Guam Unique and Merchandise Organization and Art, or GUMA as it's known, has extended the application deadline for its Incubator Grant Program to August 14th, just before midnight. The extension comes in response to disruptions caused by the Super Typhoon, including power outages, internet issues, and recovery efforts affecting many prospective applicants. GUMA Executive Director Monica Guzman says the additional time will help ensure graduates of the organization's 16-week training and mentoring initiative have a fair opportunity to complete strong applications. Grant funding is provided through GITA's Growth Accelerator Program. Eligible graduates can find application requirements or additional information at gumaguam.com. Elsewhere, ArtSpace Guahan is calling on artists from Guam and across the Pacific to submit their work for Boundless Art Without Borders, a professionally curated exhibition opening on April 15th of next year at the Guam Museum. Timed to coincide with World Art Day and Art Bash 2027, the exhibit showcases original artwork in any medium from both emerging and established artists. Selected participants will receive island-wide exposure through a marketing campaign, professional event coverage, networking opportunities, and keep 100% of any artwork sales with no commission taken by ArtSpace Guahan. There is no submission fee, and artists may enter up to 3 original works. The deadline to apply is Friday, next March 12th.
Now for a look at your world at home.
We're taking you to hallowed ground for any United States Marine who helped liberate Guam. We're taking you down to Asin for the War in the Pacific Park.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in, and the bellhop at the hotel, the tour bus drivers and tour guides, the stores they shopped at, and the banks they used, the restaurant and the waitstaff, the supplier who delivered the ingredients, and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes stronger and more sustainable. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
That needs to know that the governor of the this administration helped us a lot.
And I'm sure Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Barnes will continue what they've done for our village. From our roads to our new playgrounds that have been installed in our village.
I have the gym and the baseball field. I remove all those houses that I'm going to show the people from Vermont. That's why I'm supporting them.
This administration has delivered to Hoggett, and I ask you guys to humbly ask your families to please vote for Josh and Tina all the way to Avenue. Viva Josh and Tina!
I'm Josh Tenorio.
And I'm Tina, and we approve this message.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
We gotta do it island style, right?
Thank you, coach. Thank you. Thank you, man. You ready?
When a crispier McCrispy strip is created, only the best sauce will do. Behold, chicken Caesary greatness. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for limited time.
Life moves fast. Yes helps you keep up.
Can we open an account?
Yeah, let's do it. Did I pay that bill? Yep, you sure did.
What about our vacation?
Oh yeah, start packing.
How does anyone afford to buy here?
Yeah, we get it, but we can help guide you.
I need a bigger space. Can you help?
Yes. Because yes is so much more than the answer to a question. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
At GTA, everyone gets our best deals.
So my Niao's Primos Paris is your mom's second cousin's cousin through marriage.
Wow, we're basically like family.
So can I get the deal?
Of course, everyone gets our best deals.
My nana said to tell you she went to church with your auntie.
You look just like my friend's nephew's babysitter. Small island, right? Everyone gets $400 off when you sign up for a Live Unlimited plan.
Bring it in, cuz.
Even if we're not related.
In honor of America's 250th anniversary, Jeep and Captain America are saluting real captains of America.
All clear, Cap.
Heroes like Captain Nuger, Captain Enda.
Team, I got eyes on Cap.
Captain Murray.
Copy that.
Captain McCall. And all those who served our country.
Need a lift, Captain? Brought my own, Captain.
And as America's veteran SUV, Jeep is built for freedom and driven by heroes.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Okay, News Bites time for you, everybody. I got a bunch of things I want to tell you about, but first I want to say a special Hafaday message out to all the new friends I have over at Hafaday Specialist Group over there in Tumont. They took absolute wonderful care about me yesterday. They are professionals, they are experts, they are angels, they are super nice. All the wonderful ladies over there, they took care of me like 1000% and everything. So everybody at Hafaday Specialist, you guys are rock stars. Thank you for being amazing at what you guys do. Couldn't appreciate you guys more. I told you I was gonna give you a shout out, right? All right, great job. All right, you know what else is coming up? The UOG Golf Challenge. That is something else that is awesome on our community. And I ran into President Dr. Anita Borja Enriquez today. I saw her out in the field. I was like, hey, Doc, what's the deal with the long-range driving challenge? And she said, you know, we are putting on this very special event and we want to see if people can drive off the green, right? Kaboom! Talk about from tee all the way past the green. We want to see if you have got what it takes to dominate the driving range golf challenge. Now, you know the UOG athletic department, they are top notch, right? So please make sure to register. It's on the last day of August. Is August 30 days or 31? Well, it's at the end of August, right? And they're going to have this down at Country Club of the Pacific. I got to check my calendar. But I know I'm going to be there. So please make sure to go by and make sure that you work on your long game because it will be tested. And you know what? Us Tritons at UOG, Triton State, man. we aim to please and we go for excellence. So that's what's happening over there. All right. You know what else is happening in Central Guam over at GPO throughout the month of July? Amazing things, right? Head by the food court because dance performances and live Tomorrow culture alive and well. We are celebrating, we are perpetuating, we are extending, we are sharing our native culture with you. Our dance, our song, our compassion, our food, our love, our respect. And Pipit is a wonderful example of that. Make sure to check it out because throughout July, they will be there. Also, Twinkles and Haagen-Dazs, right? Two of my favorite tenants there at GPO, right? You go to Twinkles for, go there for the Lego collection, you go there for the super cool Funko Pops, and then you swing over to Haagen-Dazs and you have my personal favorite, like the triple chocolate. All right, I love it. So swing by. Legos and ice cream, absolutely amazing. And other things going on at GPO throughout the month of July. We will see you over there at the mall. And then you know what? Our commitment to Rota is unwavering. I did a story last week and we saw Mayor Kevin Siswico from Haggett. He's also very, very involved with the Marianas Mayors Association. And you saw the outpouring of love and support. There was pet food, there was rice, there was bottled water as far as the eye can see. There were so many things that were donated. And we continue this wonderful event because at any fire station, you can drop off donations that you have from your family, your household. It can be canned food, more rice, hygiene wipes, baby supplies, solar lights. That's a really big thing, right? For people that are still struggling with power outage, the sun's up in this part of the world. So charge up your solar lights and you'll have light to run at night. But swing by any of your favorite retailers, pick up some stuff, and then swing by your